to terrorize the honest taxpayers to pay excessive taxes, but on legal terms. For clear understanding, let me give you an example. So you are all in a college and you are graduated with 47% of marks and you got a job and you earn a good salary. Suddenly you receive a mail from your college stating that the passing criteria has been changed to 50%. So you have to write your exams again to get the degree. This is what exactly tax terrorism is. The tax authority changes the law according to their wants to collect excessive tax from the taxpayer. Next, how tax terrorism has emerged in India. The discourse on tax terrorism has been discussed in reference to the infamous move of Government of India to levy retrospective taxes over foreign companies in Section 9 of the Finance Act 2012. Retrospective taxation means levy of additional taxes by way of revision from a specified date in the past and not the future. The background in which the Government of India decided to levy retrospective taxes was to force Vodafone to pay excess taxes for a transaction which took place as a part of an offshore share transfer agreement. But there were other ways also in which foreign investors depriving to seek protection against the domestic authorities in the matter of taxation under the state arbitration. However, the levy of retrospective taxes by Government of India tarnished India's image before the foreign investor. It also spooked the foreign investor and created a very unfavorable environment for the foreign investors to invest further. This is what tax terrorism is and how emergence of tax terrorism in India. And next, the Vodafone case is a classic example of tax terrorism, which is going to be explained by Nishan.
So we are going to see about Vodafone case. This case is all about how Government of India altered the law according to their wants. See, Hutchison Telecom is Hong Kong company, is international company, and SGP Investor Limited, it is also an foreign company, and Hutchison is a India located company, is a branch of Hutchison Telecom company. CGP Investment Limited hold 100% of shares of Hutchison Telecom company and only invest 67% of shares in Hutchison SR company. In some reason, some issue, the Hutchison Telecom company transferred their asset to Vodafone company. The Vodafone company buy the asset by giving 2007 by giving $11.1 billion. In 2007, the Indian rupees is 50 crore to 55 crore around that. They transferred $11.1 billion. And then income tax authority demand a notice to Vodafone company to pay 22,100 crore to income tax authority by Vodafone company because transferring their asset. But Vodafone company is not giving the tax. They further moved to Bombay High Court, which rule is favor of income tax department. The Bombay High Court says that Vodafone company should pay the tax to income tax authority because the capital asset is located in India, so the Vodafone company should pay the tax. But Vodafone company refused, will not pay the tax to income tax department, then we can move to High Court. So subsequently, Vodafone took the High Court judgment to the Supreme Court, since the judgment is according to Income Tax Act 1967. Any foreign investor in country, they should not pay the tax to our country. They only pay the tax to a nation country, that means their own country. They should not pay the tax to our Indian country. According to this act, the Vodafone company should not pay the tax to Indian government. In that year 2012, Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee introduced one retrospective legislation act. That means that means between 1964 to present, any foreign investor in country, that means by using capital asset, they should want to pay the tax to our country. Then the Vodafone company, but that also Vodafone company refused to pay tax because there is an act. Then this case is moved to Permanent Court of cases that was moved to international court. But order is between Indian government versus Vodafone company. This case also favored to Vodafone company because there is an act of income tax of 1967. There is an act. So the international court further ruled that the Indian government has to pay back the 45 crore which as they have taken from Vodafone company. This is Indian government has to pay 45 crore to Vodafone company because suddenly when law is arised means how can they can pay the tax in before future cases. Then the another case example of tax terrorism is CAI case which is going to explained by Raghavendra.
Current oil and gas vertical of Vedanta Limited is a foreign company which is the biggest onshore oil field which is established in 1961. Kailan has also started its company in India in 2004. Kailan has distributed the 69% of profit to Kailan UK government yearly. Anil Agarwal has started the company Vedanta as a mining company. In 2011, he has bought 58.5% of current company share and he gave worth of $8.67 billion to Kairan Indian Holdings. The Kairan company has came to High Court, but the High Court has opposed their judgment. So they move on to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also not supposed to say. So finally, Kairan company has paid 25,500 crores of Indian money to Indian government. The next slide will be explained by Nandakumar.
Good afternoon, everyone. We would like to talk about the excessive uses of powers by the tax authority. This is an issue for the taxpayer. In Income Tax Act, Section 147, the tax authorities to reassess the income tax returns for the taxpayers in the CBDT. That means the Central Board of Direct Taxes are allowed to send the scrutiny notice for the tax authorities in the suspicious and underreported or miscalculate of his tax. Next, before we go into prevention and the conclusion, I would like to ask you all some questions. The first question is, who is the highest individual tax payer in the India? Anyone else? Any guess? In India. Okay, no more time. Let's see the answer. It's Akshay Kumar. The second question. Who is the highest corporate taxpayer in India? Give him an applause. Let's see the answer. Next question. Who is the highest individual taxpayer in Tamil Nadu? Okay, see the answer.
right? So let's again get back into tax terrorism. For every problem, there is a solution, right? In our case, tax terrorism is a problem, and we have some prevention. Let's see what are the preventions. The first one is avoidance of complex taxation. In this term, complex refers to pre-GST era. Before GST, there are many indirect tax. Like we all know that GST was being mandatory from July 1, 2017. But before those days, there were many taxes, indirect tax like VAT, service and excise tax, etc. By avoiding those complex tax and adapting into this GST is a kind of prevention for tax terrorism. And the next prevention is DTAA. It refers to Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement. This is an international bilateral agreement which basically focused on foreign investor community, and this is an investment, and this DTA focus between the countries who signed to avoid paying more tax and avoid paying dual tax on same income. And this DTA not only protect against any unfair treatment laid by any of the government, and it also offers many concessional rate on specific income. And the last one is conclusion. Let's settle off now. India has now moved from tax terrorism to tax transparency, but of course the changes made by the government are quite welcoming and appreciable. But only because of this tax terrorism, India have lost a reputation in eye of foreign investor community, and this is only because of the impact made by the government before while they were using those tax terrorism. And the next one is, apart from this, the amendment passed by our government, still now, the recent amendment passed by our government was quite partially hostile against those Vodafone and Karen, because I would be interesting to see whether those amendments passed by our government was the amendment passed by our government was acceptable or not, because our government have used every tactics to pay more tax by those two companies, and if they back down against those amendments and refuse the condition made by our government, and it's going to be quite difficult for our government to oppose those companies. And if again this tax terrorism is going to continue, it's going to be very difficult for our Indian government because it disappoints the foreign investors community, basically the investor community. And I would like to conclude that for every star there is an end. Tax terrorism has been started before, and as of now, the government says that India has now moved from tax terrorism to tax transparency. Thank you. And you want, I would like to ask all my team to conclude in short.
हमारा देश में टैक्स टेररिज्म है has been changed to tax transparency है. Thank you है.